Good Tuesday morning, Patriots. Welcome to O'Connor's Right Stand, where we just don't report the news, we rip the mask off the lies, crank the heat to 11, and give the swamp a wake-up call it can't ignore. I'm John O'Connor, your host, programmer by day, patriot by night, and full-time truth warrior. If you're new to the show, buckle up, because we're diving into the deep end. If you're a loyal listener, you know the drill. Hit me up on X at O'Connor Stand with your thoughts, rants, or cheers. Your feedback is the fuel that keeps this fire roaring. We're rocking the new format. Twice a week, leaner, meaner, and packing a punch. Is it hitting the mark? Or are you sick of it? Is twice a week hearing my voice agitating you? All joking aside, just DM me and let's talk. I spent the weekend deep in wedding planning with my fiancé. Good news, we finished up to save the dates. They're going out soon, and we got a little playful with the guest list. Even President Trump is getting one. Hey, a little wishful thinking never hurts, right? We read online that Melania sometimes actually replies to these invitations, so why not? We went overboard on our card order, which turned out to be a bonus. Apparently, if you send wedding invites to big companies, some will send you coupons or even vouchers for free stuff. I love a good freebie. So, we're now inviting a bunch of Fortune 500 companies to our wedding. If they send us some perks, I'll definitely let you know. But enough about my hustle for wedding freebies. Let's get into the heart of today's episode. Today, we're tearing into the freshly declassified Durham Appendix, originally released by Chairman Grassley on May 12, 2023. This isn't just a report. It's a political earthquake that shatters the Russiagate hoax we've been force-fed since 2016. For years, the media, Democrats, and their pals in the deep state told us Trump was Putin's puppet, colluding to steal the election. Now, the Durham documents expose a scandal so dirty it makes Watergate break-in look like a kid swiping cookies from the jar. We're talking about a Clinton campaign plot, allegedly greenlit by Hillary herself to smear Trump with Russia ties, deflect from her own scandals, and manipulate the FBI into playing along. This appendix reveals hacked emails, FBI inaction, and a suspiciously uniform course of quote-unquote ridiculous denials from Clinton's inner circle. Coincidence? Or a scripted dodge? You decide. This is about more than one election. It's about a system rigged to protect the powerful, gaslight the public, and bury the truth under a pile of bureaucratic BS. From the Clintons' team scheming to the FBI's cowardice, we're peeling back every layer of this mess. We'll dig into the documents, the players, and the fallout that's got conservatives on X lighting up the platform with righteous outrage. Grab your coffee, pour a double bourbon, you'll need it for this one, or clutch your pitchfork, because we're about to expose the lies, call out the culprits, and demand accountability for a country that's sick of being played. This is O'Connor's Right Stand. Let's set the stage. The Durham Appendix isn't just a footnote. It's a 29-page indictment of everything we were told about Russiagate. It details a Clinton campaign plan to tie Trump to Russia, protect Hillary from the email scandal, and possibly enlist the FBI to amplify the narrative. It's not speculation. It's backed by hacked emails from think tanks like the Open Society Foundation, where Clinton's advisors were caught plotting. And when the FBI got wind of it, they sat on their hands, scared of Clinton's clout. This is the kind of scandal that makes your blood boil, a betrayal of trust that hits at the heart of our democracy. We'll break it down segment by segment: the Clinton scheme, the FBI's failures, the eerie, quote-unquote, ridiculous talking point, and what it means for a nation fed up with a two-tier justice. If you're tired of the establishment's lies, this episode is for you. Let's go. The Durham Appendix, declassified by Chairman Grassley, is a bombshell that blows the Russiagate narrative to smithereens. For years, we were sold a story. Trump was a Russian asset, colluding with Putin to steal 2016. The media screamed it, Democrats preached it, and even some spineless Republicans, rhinos, nodded along. But the Durham report, It's a gut punch to that lie, exposing a Clinton campaign plot that makes Machiavelli look like an amateur. The appendix, part of Special Counsel John Durham's investigation into the 2016 election, was released on May 12, 2023. It's a classified addendum to the main report, detailing intelligence activities and investigations tied to the presidential campaigns. The star of the show, a Clinton campaign plan, allegedly approved by Hillary Clinton herself on July 26, 2016, to vilify Trump by linking him to Russia's DNC hack. This wasn't a spontaneous rumor. It was a calculated strategy to deflect from Clinton's email scandal and paint Trump as a traitor. The evidence comes from hacked communications, including emails from the Open Society Foundations and other think tanks, obtained by Russian intelligence and passed to U.S. agencies. A July 25, 2016 email from Leonard Bernardo, a Soros Fund Eurasia regional director, the tongue twister there, pushes making Russia a quote-unquote U.S. domestic issue and a quote-unquote critical infrastructure threat to the election. Another email, dated July 27, 2016, shows Clinton advisor Julianne Smith rallying colleagues to slam Trump's NATO stance, tying it to Russia. These weren't random musings. They were part of a coordinated effort to smear Trump and protect Clinton. But here's where it gets juicy. The FBI knew about this in real time. On August 3rd of 2016, CIA Director John Brennan briefed President Obama, Vice President Biden, FBI Director James Comey, DNI James Clapper, and others on this intelligence. Brennan's handwritten notes confirmed the meeting, noting the Clinton campaign's plan to stir up a Trump-Russia scandal. Yet, the FBI dismissed it as not credible, without lifting a finger to investigate. Why? According to one agent, they were tippy-toeing around Clinton because she might become president. Another said the FISA application targeting a non-U.S. person linked to Clinton sat in limbo for months, partly waiting for a new attorney general. This wasn't incompetence. It was absolutely deliberate. The appendix also revisits Clinton's email scandal. A January 2016 memo claims DNC chair Debbie Wasserman Schultz discussed Obama pressuring Comey to slow walk the FBI's investigation into Clinton's private server. A March 2016 memo alleges Clinton's team deleted incriminating emails, and Attorney General Loretta Lynch was feeding updates to Clinton's political director. When FBI officials McCabe and Anderson briefed Lynch on these allegations, her reaction was chilling. McCabe expected outrage. Instead, she was stone-faced, saying nothing. Anderson found it weird that Lynch didn't deny the claims. That's not a denial, it's a red flag. And then there's the word, quote-unquote, ridiculous. When Durham's team showed the declassified intel to Clinton, John Podesta, and Jake Sullivan, they all called it the same word, ridiculous. Not false, not absurd, but ridiculous. 3 key players, one word, like they rehearsed it in a DNC war room. The hypocrisy is staggering. While the FBI ignored credible intel on Clinton, they chased the Steele dossier, a flimsy, uncorroborated hit piece, against Trump with zeal. Carter Page, a Trump advisor, wasn't even interviewed until March of 2017, despite him volunteering back in 2016. The FISA application targeting him was renewed multiple times, yet the Clinton-linked intel? Crickets. This double standard isn't just bias, it's betrayal. Let's zero in on the Clinton campaign's alleged scheme. It's the heart of the scandal. The Durham appendix lays out a chilling picture. In late July 2016, Hillary Clinton personally approved a plan to tie Trump to Russia's DNC hack, deflecting from her own email scandal. This wasn't a grassroots rumor. It was a top-down, calculated hit job, backed by hacked emails from think tanks like Open Society Foundation and the Carnegie Endowment. The report cites a July 25, 2016 email from Leonard Bernardo, Soros Fund Eurasia Regional Director, pushing to make Russia a quote-unquote critical infrastructure threat to the U.S. election. He wrote, "The point is making the Russian play a U.S. domestic issue." The next day, July 26, Clinton allegedly greenlit the plan. On July 27th, Clinton advisor Julianne Smith sent an email to think tanks colleagues, circulating a draft statement slamming Trump's NATO's comments as too Russia-friendly. The timing, suspiciously perfect. Smith's email came hours after Clinton's alleged approval, suggesting a coordinated push to paint Trump as Putin's pawn. But it gets worse. The appendix reveals Clinton's team wanted the FBI to amplify the narrative. A July 5th text exchange between Smith and a foreign policy advisor shows them fishing for FBI action. Smith wrote, "Left messages for OVP, Office of the Vice President, but Politico just sent me a push notification stating that they are indeed investigating." The advisor replied, "FBI just put out a statement. Thanks." The report suggests the campaign hoped to put more oil into the fire by pushing the FBI to open a formal probe into the DNC hack, framing Trump as the culprit. Meanwhile, Clinton's email scandal was a ticking time bomb. The appendix cites a January 2016 memo where Debbie Wasserman Schultz claimed Obama was pressuring Comey to stall the FBI's investigation into Clinton's private server. A March 2016 memo alleges Clinton's team deleted incriminating emails, and Lynch was feeding updates to Amanda Renteria. When McCabe and Anderson briefed Lynch on these claims, her silence was deafening. McCabe called it odd. Anderson said it was weird. Lynch didn't deny knowing Renteria or influencing the investigation. She just sat there. That's not the reaction of an innocent AG. The FBI's inaction is infuriating. Despite CIA referrals and high-level briefings, Comey dismissed the intel as not credible without investigation. Why? The report points to fear of Clinton's power. One agent admitted they were super careful because Clinton might become president. A FISA application targeting a non-U.S. person linked to Clinton was delayed for months, partly waiting for a new AG. Compare that to the FBI's obsession with Trump's team. FISA warrants on Carter Page were renewed repeatedly based on unverified dossier claims. Now let's talk about the word ridiculous. It's not just a word. It's a red flag waving in our faces. When Durham's team showed the declassified intel to Hillary Clinton, John Podesta, and Jake Sullivan, they all responded with the same word, ridiculous. Not false, not outrageous, just ridiculous. 3 key players, 1 careful chosen term. That's not coincidence. It's a scripted dodge, straight out of a DNC crisis PR manual. The Durham appendix notes that Clinton, Podesta, and Sullivan denied the existence of the plan to tie Trump to Russia. But here's the catch. They couldn't, quote-unquote, conclusively negate it. Podesta said he'd never seen the memos. Sullivan called them ridiculous with no further comment. Clinton echoed the same line. Why ridiculous? It's a word that dismisses without engaging, shuts down questions without answering them. It's the kind of deflection you use when you're caught and don't want to dig any deeper. The report emphasizes the intel wasn't Russian disinformation. It came from hacked U.S. communications, including think tank emails. Yet the FBI dismissed it without a shred of investigation. Comey claimed it lacked credibility, but offered no proof. Meanwhile, they chased the Steele dossier's unverified claims against Trump like bloodhounds. The dossier, funded by Clinton's campaign, was treated as gospel, while credible intel on Clinton was buried. That's not a double standard, it's just a rigged game. The ridiculous course extends beyond Clinton's team. When Attorney General Lynch was briefed on the allegations, her non-response raised alarms. McCabe and Anderson expected her to deny any contact with Renteria or influence over the email probe. Instead, she was stone-faced, saying nothing. Anderson noted Lynch pronounced Renteria correctly, suggesting familiarity, but didn't deny the allegations. FBI General Counsel James Baker, in a 2020 interview, said he was greatly concerned by Lynch's reactions, especially after her tarmac meeting with Bill Clinton. That meeting, coupled with her silence, fueled suspicions of bias. The Durham Appendix isn't just about Clinton's scheme. It's a damning indictment of the FBI's complicity. They had credible intel on a potential Clinton campaign plot to manipulate the 2016 election. Yet, they did nothing. No interviews, no probes, no follow-ups. Why? Well, because they were terrified of crossing Clinton. The report details how a FISA application targeting a non-U.S. person linked to Clinton was delayed for months. One agent admitted they were super careful because Clinton might become president. Another said they were tippy-toeing around her name, fearing political backlash. The application lingered, partly waiting for a new attorney general, while the FBI fast-tracked FISA warrants against Trump's team, based on that flimsy dossier's claims. Carter Page, a Trump advisor, volunteered for an interview in 2016 but wasn't questioned until March 2017. The FBI's leadership, including Comey, blocked it, citing credibility concerns about the Clinton intel without evidence. Meanwhile, they pursued Page with FISA renewals based on unverified rumors. The appendix notes a June 2017 interview with a Russian contact, Kleeman Tov, who doubted Page met with Russian key figures. Yet, the FBI discounted this as in favor of dossier claims. Lynch's reaction to the intel briefing is a scandal in itself. McCabe expected her to deny an improper contact with Clinton's team. Instead, she just stone-faced. The conservative media has been relentless. A 2023 Breitbart article called it the FBI's greatest failure since Hoover. This wasn't just a failure, it was a choice. The FBI chose to shield Clinton and chase Trump, eroding public trust in the process. When law enforcement plays favorites, it's not justice. It's absolute corruption. The Durham Appendix isn't just about 2016. It's about the damage done to our democracy. Russiagate, fueled by Clinton's alleged plan and the FBI's inaction, poisoned trust in our institutions. For years, Americans were told Trump was a Russian traitor, still hearing that today, while evidence of Clinton's schemes were buried. The fallout, a nation divided, cynical, and disengaged. The report shows how far the swamp will go to protect its own. When the FBI ignores credible intel to shield a powerful candidate, it's not a mistake. It's a crisis. This isn't just about conservatives winning. It's about democracy, our democracy, surviving. Without a fair, transparent system, we get unchecked power and apathy. The Durham findings demand accountability, not just for Clinton's team, but for every bureaucrat who looked the other way. So, what's the fix? First, clean house at the FBI. And this is what Kash Patel and Dan Bongino are already doing, while also the near impossible job of restoring trust in the FBI. They must fire agents who play politics, and hire ones who chase truth, no matter who's in the crosshairs. Second, declassify everything. Every memo, every email, every note tied to Russiagate. No more hiding behind this national security. Third, Congress must hold hearings. Subpoena Clinton, Lynch, Comey, and Podesta right now. Make them explain under oath why ridiculous was their go-to dodge. For far too long, the Democrats, with the rhino's blind eyes, were allowed to F around. But I think the find-out phase of FAFO is just beginning. Fourth, empower whistleblowers. Protect FBI agents who speak out about bias, like those who admitted to tippy-toeing around Clinton. Finally, voters must stay loud. Post on X, call your reps, demand answers. Well, that's a wrap on O'Connor's Right Stand, the Durham Declassification Bombshell. We've ripped through the Clinton campaign's alleged plot, the FBI's spineless inaction, and suspicious course of ridiculous denials that scream cover-up. This isn't just about one election. It's about a system that protects the powerful and spits on the truth. The Durham Appendix proves Russiagate was a manufactured crisis, with Clinton's team pulling the strings and the FBI playing along. When justice bends to politics, we all lose. So let's keep the heat on. Share this episode, hit up at O'Connor's Stand on X, and tell everyone you know to wake up. If we want a country where truth matters, we can't let this slide. Until Thursday, this is John O'Connor, calling out the lies, fighting the swamp, and demanding better for America. Stay fierce, stay skeptical, and never stop asking, what are they hiding?